Beach. We are currently high in the sky today, flying with our pilot, Alex, with Untitled Chapter. And we have a very special guest in the back seat. We have Gerald, who is the executive engineer of the new bridge that is being built in the Port of Long Beach. How you doing back there, Dwayne?
I'm doing fine.
Can you tell us a little bit about why the current bridge needs to be replaced by the new one?
The existing bridge was built in 1968 to standards that were in effect then. What an engineer calls functionally obsolete. It's reached the end of its useful life. The port embarked almost 2 decades ago on planning for a new bridge. The new bridge was designed to accommodate traffic growth and the growth in trucks on this very important connector to the interstate highway system. It's a new modern cable-stayed bridge, 3 lanes each direction with full safety shoulders on each side. It also provides for higher air draft, or the height above the water, so that we can have larger vessels go into the inner harbor area and our marine terminals in the inner harbor.
What's the current size of ship that you could get under the existing bridge, and what are you hoping to get under the new bridge?
Current size is limited by the height of the vessel, and all vessels aren't configured exactly the same, but it's just a general rule. They can get vessels in 6,000 to 8,000 TEUs, 20-foot equivalent units, container ships, back into the inner harbor under the existing bridge. With the new bridge, we'll be able to accommodate much larger vessels. The workhorse, the Pacific trade lanes, is likely to be about a 14,000 TEU vessel.
Almost double the size then, right?
Yeah, and a very efficient size, and that's what size we think we'll want to go to the inner harbor area. We can accommodate even larger vessels, up to 24,000 TEUs, in the outer harbor area.
Wow, that's like a floating city pretty much, right?
It is. It's a lot of moving.
Specific design for the bridge, it's supposed to help trucks more easily go over it, correct?
Yes, if you could see that the approach grades on the new bridge are much flatter. They're 5% versus 6% on the existing structure. Now, that doesn't sound like much, but to a truck, it's a lot. And so the trucks will be able to maintain their speed going up over the new bridge easier than they can on the existing.
So theoretically, Glenn, will that help emissions as well, because the trucks aren't working as hard, cranking up the gears and going slower and putting more throttle to get up that old bridge, and then it will be a smoother passage, so might it help emissions as well in the port?
Absolutely. It keeps the engines working in kind of the sweet spot of their what they're designed to run, and so it'll be efficient for both emissions and for safety. You know, the Port of Long Beach prides itself on building for the future. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous bridge. One of the things when they were doing the planning for this bridge, community input, was that they wanted a signature bridge. And a signature bridge to an engineer means the kind of bridge that you'll see on a postcard. And, you know, we all know the Golden Gate Bridge and the Brooklyn Bridge and bridges like that that are truly, truly of art, functional art. And this bridge, I think, will accomplish the same thing for Long Beach.
Thank you so much for talking to us, Dwayne. We're actually going to take this interview down on the bridge to gain a little bit more insight on what this bridge is all about.
That was a great view from the sky, but now we are here on the new bridge that is being built for the Port of Long Beach, and we have the executive engineer, Dwayne Carnegie, who is here to talk a little bit more about some interesting details of this bridge. Now, what can you tell us? What do you think is probably your favorite quality that this bridge has?
Well, first of all, those towers are magnificent monuments that hold up the bridge. Those towers are 515 feet tall. They're the tallest points in Long Beach, and each one of them has 40 cables which support the bridge. And as you look at the bridge, you can see the splay of those cables out. So the deck acts like a compression member, and so it's like a frame that's suspended from the cables, the compression there, and it just makes a nice, stable structure.
And it also makes a great view. I remember up in the helicopter you were telling us that you wanted this bridge to be a signature bridge, something for people to look at. We definitely can see that right here behind us. The bridge is very unique in the fact that it can withstand earthquakes. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. This bridge has been designed to the state-of-the-art earthquake design here in California. Cable-stayed bridges, by the type of structure they are, very flexible. So we have to design in a bunch of features that will accommodate the movement of this structure in an earthquake. So this structure has been designed for 2 different levels of earthquake. One is an operating level earthquake that we believe is about the strongest earthquake that's likely to occur within the life of the structure. And then we also designed for a safety earthquake event, which would be the maximum that we might expect in 1,000 years here in California. And then what seismologists do is they look at all the various faults and they try to figure out what's the credible earthquake size on each of those faults. That's converted then to a maximum ground acceleration here, and we design for that ground acceleration. One of the features that's built into this bridge is that there's 77 seismic sensors, accelerometers, embedded in the bridge structure, so that in real time data in the event of an earthquake, the California Geologic Survey will receive in real time acceleration data for various components of the bridge, and we'll instantly be able to know where to focus inspections, how the bridge actually behaved versus the theoretical prediction of how it should behave. So that's an important feature that was built into the bridge from the beginning.
One of my favorite things that I heard you talking about earlier was the lights that we're going to have. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. One of the features that we built into the bridge is architectural lighting. So there will be colored LED lights that individually light up each cable and also light the tower, both up and down below the deck. And so the city will have the opportunity to do theme lighting, green for St. Patrick's Day, different colors, and you can light each cable up a different color, and then that can be changed. We won't do dancing lights because we don't want anything that would distract drivers, but we'll definitely are looking forward to that. One of the things that during the planning for this bridge that the community made clear is that they wanted an iconic structure that would add to the skyline of Long Beach. And this is what engineers call a signature bridge, which means exactly what you said. It's the kind of bridge you'll see on a postcard, kind that people recognize. And this is really the first true signature bridge in Southern California. We all know about the Golden Gate and the Oakland Bay Bridge up in Northern California, but this is Southern California's first true signature bridge.
This bridge is going to open towards the end of 2020, so we can start off the new year of 2021 great at the Port of Long Beach. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Cassidy Jones, and you're watching Long Beach Local News.